If you made it to the top four videos in this list, it's quite obvious that Rogue One and the original trilogy are in the top four. If you came to this thinking that one of the original trilogy was not going to be one of the best ones on my list, I apologize. I grew up on these movies. I watched them before the prequel trilogies and certainly much before the sequel trilogy. So there's enough nostalgia and good filmmaking and fun and adventure and climax and storytelling and whatever in the original trilogy for them to be anywhere below the top three. This is the Rogue Hope video, as you've seen from the title. So I thought the Rogue Hope was right there in quality and mood and feeling from the original ones. Like, what I liked about the original ones definitely exists in what I like about this one. I've heard the arguments from people. I've heard that they don't like the fact that they didn't like the characters. They thought they weren't good guys, or they just didn't think they were deep enough. And I don't know. I would disagree with them. I thought there was depth to these characters, or enough anyway, to get you through one movie. And God, I appreciated the fact that this was one movie. Like, this came at a really good time because I had seen Force Awakens. I was very disappointed. I was ready for a Star Wars movie that featured basically no Jedi. I was ready for a Star Wars movie that didn't involve the increasing um, coincidence and royalty and bloodlines of the Star Wars universe. I was ready for something that was a little darker. I was ready for something that didn't need to shield its important characters from storyline and death and consequence. I was ready for a Star Wars movie that was a little more realistic when it came to right and wrong and which were the good guys and which were the bad guys and what a rebellion was showcased as. And that's what I got in this movie. I very much appreciated that this was a rebellion that was barely alive, that it was a bunch of people pulled from different factions that didn't necessarily like each other or have much in common besides the fact that they hated the Empire and its iron rule and all that stuff. I definitely appreciated that there was commanders that would be telling certain characters that they definitely needed to murder a different character and that it wasn't really anybody else's orders besides his own. I liked the disorganization of the rebellion in this and how realistic it was when it came to being a faction that was just trying to survive. I just liked this movie. I liked the tone. I liked the mood. I liked the fact that it was a similar state of technology as portrayed in the original trilogy. I loved how they incorporated Tarkin into this movie. Some people didn't like the fact that they used technology to input old characters such as Leia or Tarkin or Darth Vader to some extent, and I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I saw this movie, I think, the day after Carrie Fisher passed away. And it was really hard watching that ending. I was like, oh God, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Shit. But yeah, some people have said they didn't care about the characters enough, so when they started passing away, it didn't really mean much to them. And it was getting me in the feels. I was like, oh God, they're all doing their part and getting blown away just like they would be in an actual conflict. And they're just holding on to each other at the end. They're not even kissing each other because that would be stupid in Hollywood. They're just kind of holding on to a friend as the world bakes around them. No, it definitely got me. I guess I can't really articulate why I like this and that. It just felt like it was a fresh new direction for a Star Wars movie and really showcased that a by itself Star Wars movie fleshing out a character or a storyline or a thought or a moment in the universe that we cared about could work. It is why I'm much more positive about a Han Solo movie than a lot of people are, because we like Han Solo. We're curious about his past. A single movie that starts and ends a storyline could definitely work, because it worked here. And now that I think about it, I think there's aspects of this that maybe showcase to Disney that some of these darker ideas and less black and white, good, bad, moral whatevers could work in Last Jedi because some of those crept into there and they certainly seemed pretty good. Now, one thing I have thought about is I was told there was reshoots for this. I don't give a fuck. We put so much attention in how a movie is coming together and whether there's reshoots or actors being recast or directors having opinions or whatever. I don't care what happens behind the scenes of a movie if what we get is good. If you go into a movie knowing exactly what is reshot, you're probably going to color your opinion of it. You're probably going to think less of that. In this situation, yeah, maybe there was different opinions and changes and stuff like that, but if we just go by what's on the screen, that's probably the only really opinion we should have, isn't it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Rogue One, because I think it's great, and I suspect that some people don't. So go ahead and write them in the comments section. We can discuss.